Hi Nitin, hi Nag, hi Varun. How is it going? So took a little break and then I'm back again. Guys, welcome to Rock and Talk episode 17. Tonight's guest is, as you guys know, it's Jayanth SRIDHAR. Who doesn't know him, right? Hi Nikhil bro. I'm good man, I'm good. Doing good. Right, I'll tell you a little about Mr. Jayanth SRIDHAR. Um, he plays for NEOLITHIC Silence and he has a solo project which is yet to be named. And he's from Bangalore and he's been playing guitar since 19 years now, with a lot of unfortunate breaks. That is what he says. So right now he's in Malaysia, and that's the reason why I actually started the live at 8 p.m. tonight, because it's 2.5 hours, um, you know, uh, difference. So if I'd have been live by 10, it would be 12:30 in the night. So he doesn't want to disturb the neighbors. So I was like, okay, fine, let's compromise with the timing. So Giant just joined. Cool. Let's wait for another 30 seconds and we'll get this kicked off. Right, without further delay, let's go ahead and bring in the guest. Brother, let's go.
Hello.
Hi, bro. Hi.
What's up? What's up?
I'm good.
Who
How
do
are
we
you?
have? Who do we have here today?
It's slightly early. I guess the viewers will join in slowly.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
I've
How have
get.
you been so far?
I think the past few months have been crazy because I've been stuck in Malaysia and the lockdown and everything going on. So it's been weird because everyone seems to think because you're at home you can set up calls back to back.
Right.
So like I've been just busy with work for the past couple of years at least. So that's how
Okay.
it's going here. I miss the Bangalore scene though. Like the last time I was on stage in Bangalore was actually on my wedding night,
Oh,
and I think you were there, right? Um,
maybe. When was this? Tell me.
December 20, December 28th with Bajao.
Oh, okay, okay. Was this in Blue
Yeah,
Frog or somewhere?
fandom.
Fandom. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Right.
that was the last time I ever went on stage and like I played I think two songs and it was just for fun. The main band
Cool.
was obviously taking care of the entire crowd that time. Yeah.
Awesome,
So Eddie,
awesome.
what's been up?
All good, brother. And yeah, due to the pandemic and lockdown scenes, I thought let's do this. Anyways, the live scene is not happening, so at least
Yeah,
we can get to know what's the story behind a couple of people who are who are great with the music scene. So
fair enough. Let's get this started.
great. So let's go ahead and do a little jam. So we discussed about certain things. Let's bring in the loops and let's kick off.
Okay, so here we go. There's a small loop that I re-recorded now. So
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of lag now. Again.
Beautiful. Wow. Awesome. Sounded great,
I
brother.
have,
Nice jam.
I
Nice
will.
jam.
So this is what I've been doing. Like I just put on a loop and then I just keep playing along as like you and I were discussing earlier today. Like I
Yes.
haven't had the opportunity to practice with the band, so I'm missing that
Yes.
a lot, obviously. So
Yeah.
there's no drive to even practice at home too much, and like I just do this basic amount of things. Just put on a loop and just keep soloing over, or maybe play around with some tones. Like you heard my previous this one, so
Yeah.
a lot of cleans and
Yes.
so there are a lot of amplifiers, and I mean with the software and everything, like there's a lot of amplifier options and pedals and other things. Keep messing around
Right.
and experimenting. That's basically how it's
Awesome.
going.
Awesome. Yeah, it brings a
Yeah.
nice feel when you have a good background and then play on it and then you hit the right notes. It's just nothing better
Uh,
than practicing in that manner, right?
it's right now because I don't have an active band as such here. For
Yes.
me, this is basically the best level of practice I can get. Like put on a drum loop or put on something like this, and play around with
Yes. Yes.
VFX. And, yeah.
Perfect, bro. So tell us how long has it been for you in Malaysia and what do you do there?
Oh, so I'm pursuing my other passion, which is obviously IT. So I'm actually very passionate about IT. People don't believe that when I say it. They think that I'm doing it as a day job. Actually, that's not the case. I actually like it,
Okay.
and I moved here in 2018, and
Okay.
I've been working here since then now. So primarily only work, nothing else here. Yeah.
Right. So cool. Let's go back a little bit and could you take us back a
Mhm.
little bit and tell us about your story and how you got into music and how did it start for you?
So my family sort of have a lot of musicians. Like my dad's
Okay.
really really passionate Carnatic vocalist. My mom
Oh,
used to sing and she used to play the veena as well. So somewhere down the line, like whenever it came to music, I would always get the encouragement. I would never like have any like pushbacks and things like that, saying that hey, don't do it now. And so
yes.
I think I got my first keyboard when I was in my sixth standard,
Oh,
and there was no internet, there was nothing. Like you just had to figure things out. You knew your CDEF, and then you just I didn't know scales. I still probably don't like recognize half the scales and things like that. So you try figuring things out. There were no books, there were no videos and all that. So somewhere down the line I started getting into rock music a lot. This was in eighth and ninth, I mean in that grade, right?
okay.
So after I finished my 10th, my parents said, okay, you can have a guitar. And I joined guitar class, obviously,
Okay.
summer class. So about 10 days, this was with a very famous guitar teacher in Bangalore, at least. His name is Victor Alberts. So
Okay.
I was there for about 10 days. It was supposed to be a small guitar camp sort of a thing.
Right.
I learned a few chords. I learned how to change chords. And then after that, I went back home. By then, obviously, we had some dial up internet and other things. I had already started downloading a lot of Metallica. Thank you, Napster. Um,
Mhm.
so a lot of those kind of things had already started then. So it was all play by ear through my 11th and 12th. And when I got into engineering, that's when I started my first band, which is Neolithic Silence.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
I played in a few bands before that, but they were like very short term, 1 gig, 2 gig sort of a thing. You know?
Yes. I started watching in Neolithic Silence when I actually got into the Bonded by Scene era back in
Yeah.
the time. So, and I remember like, you guys put up really awesome gigs. And there was one time when I think, did you guys also play this Big Four where you guys did Metallica?
Yeah, yeah. We did
Yes, yes.
Metallica. This was Chaos,
Chaos did
Dark
Slayer.
Regiment. Yeah, Dark
Yeah.
Regiment did. I think
Dark Regiment
Megadeth.
did Megadeth.
Yeah,
Yes. And there was
yeah.
one more
I
band they
think.
did Anthrax.
Yeah, correct, correct.
Yeah.
This was a fun gig.
Oh, that was one fire gig. Yes, it was.
Everyone are those gigs back then were so much more fun because everyone's in your face. The crowd is right there in your face.
Right there,
You
right
remember
there.
Bonded by Blood, the first one,
Yes, yes.
like
Metal
when
for
we
Lulu.
played a monster set, and then everyone's up front, everyone's in your face. The crowd is actually there in front of you. like
Right.
good times.
Yes, good times actually. Cool. So tell us why the guitars and what are the guitars you have with you right now?
Okay, here in Malaysia, I have my Sector 7. So
Oh,
this is a Keith Marrow signature series. So
oh,
it's a
great.
very good guitar because it's a fixed bridge. So when you're sitting at home and you want to record things and when you want to just mess around, the fixed bridge comes very, very handy. And I wanted to explore the seventh string. So that's why I
Right.
just picked this one up. The other guitar I have here is a Elite 7, Elite 6 rather. And that's also very very high end guitar as such. Like, it's got the Steve Vai Sustainiac pickups all by default,
Wow.
and those you just make like a lot of funny sounds with it. Like, it's great to mess around with all these
Yeah.
atmospheric stuff there, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. So we have Piston Band India. Hey, Jayan, how you doing? Nice to
What's
see you
up?
after a long
Who
time.
is that from Piston? Is that
Piston,
Rakshit
it's
or?
Shai, Shai.
Oh, hi, Sai.
Yeah.
All of you guys are my bonded by blood friends.
Yeah. From back in the time. Right, great.
Yeah.
I remember one guitar that you had that you used to play a lot of times on stage. It was written
Yeah.
"Don't Panic" on the guitar. I think
Yeah.
that is with
So,
Nikhil right now.
yeah. So, somewhere down the line, I think I gave away a lot of my guitars so that at least some people can maintain it. So, Tony has a few, and Nadu has one, and like Nikhil has the other one. So, the Don't Panic is actually like from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So, apparently, I mean, the book is supposed to have the friendly words "Don't panic" on it. So, I was very, very inspired by that book. I used to read a
Huh.
lot back then. So I got that sticker, and then like we actually wrote a song called "Don't Panic."
Oh,
So around the same time I found the sticker, I'm like, I want this on my guitar. Like everyone's going to know this is my guitar.
right, right. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks really nice on not only for people who are like, who are yet to go on stage or kind of, obviously there is some nervousness and there's this little panic attack. But I mean, that particular sticker on the guitar was perfect for the eyes, like it was like seriously. I mean, you look into the guitar, it just says "Don't panic." All right, chill.
I have like a shit, like loads of photos with like that particular guitar, and it's like every time I see it, I'm like, man, that sticker is just like it takes the cake.
It's epical actually. Tell us about that guitar. Which brand that guitar was?
So that is a Godin. Okay, so
Yeah.
right around the time I got my orange amplifier from Bhargavas, they were also dealing with Godin, and they were really really helpful with like all my amplifier, sending it to Bangalore and all that. They said, "Hey, you want to pick up this guitar? Like, we have a sale going on." I'm like, "Okay, let me pick this up. Let's see." Like, I wanted a Strat in any case. So
Right.
the story behind the Gordon guitar actually is that I started a Rush tribute band.
Okay.
Okay, and the lineup was pretty epic because it had Ryan Colasso from Cryptos then, and
Okay.
Jayanth Tiwari from Cryptos. Both of them were in Cryptos back then, and
Right.
Akshay from Fahrenheit and Anirban
Okay.
on keyboards. So we decided to do this Rush tribute thing, like try it out because it's very very difficult to cover Rush. Each
Yes.
musician in Rush basically does 100 different things. So like we basically needed like five people to do what three people were doing in that band. So we started that project, and all my guitars are very high gain. Like
Okay.
the BCRH I had the James Hetfield pickups on it, so it's
Okay.
very very high and it's already very dirty. And my Jackson guitars all had the Kerry King series on it.
Oh.
So they are very, very high gain when you want to play like some rock and things like that, right? So that's when I got the orange, I approached these guys and I'm like, hey, I need something that I can use for this kind of music because none of my guitars actually sound good with this. So that's when they came up with the sale and they shipped this Gordon over. And it's a session. It's a very simple guitar. I think it's a HSH, so it's got a lot of pickup combinations and very fun to play with also. I mean, easy to
Right.
play, so very fast neck and all.
Oh yeah. Fast neck guitars. Yeah. Cool.
I mean, look at this.
Awesome.
I mean, look at the
Yeah.
scale length of this.
Yeah,
You're like a
it's very
monster.
thin. Yeah,
Yeah. And
killer
with the
that is.
seven, it's still very, very easy to play. So,
Right, right.
yeah,
I think Ibanez has a little broader, kind of little thicker neck. Is it?
yeah, possibly. But as you can see, I have very, very small fingers for a guitarist. So for me, this is like perfect. Like,
Okay, perfect. Great. Let's talk about your projects, Neolithic Silence in particular. How did this happen? I mean, how did this form? And tell us the story about Neolithic Silence.
so Bangalore scene has a way of categorizing bands. Okay,
Okay.
at least back then, in 2004 and 5, there were basically three categories of bands. There was a fourth category, but there was no band in that category back then. Like nobody would call themselves that. So there's a college category, then there's
Hmm.
amateur, then there
Hmm.
used to be something called semi-pro. Basically, you
Okay.
get paid for your gigs when you're semi-pro, and
Yeah.
then finally you have pro. Okay,
Oh.
so we guys like there were a bunch of us in college, like three of us. We started this band. We started at amateur. We were like, okay, we'll stay there for a while, and we used to write really really horrible songs. Like I mean, I this is subjective right now. Like if I look at my compositions back then, I'd
Yeah.
probably sit and laugh for like an hour or so. But it was fun, right? Like we used to jam, like we used to miss college sometimes and like finish our college by a lunch break, and we used to go to this farmhouse. That was our jam room, and we used to jam for 8 hours on just three
Wow.
songs.
Oh.
And all of us for some reason like children of boredom. We had a keyboardist, so we just started like playing those kind of songs. Then I got into Dark Tranquility thanks to Nolan and like all these guys.
Cool.
So we started getting into a lot more melodic death metal, melodic metal sort of thing then.
Okay.
And till 2007, that band carried on, and then we took a small break. And I think I stopped playing for a while again there.
Okay.
Got back to playing, and that's when Nadu and Suri they joined us. And hello, my drummer's here. Hi, hi,
All
Yadu.
right. Great.
And Anthony was with us for a while as well. And when Anthony joined Cryptos, then we got Yadu in. So that has been our lineup for now. And then
Awesome.
last year, like this has been a struggle for me for a while. When Suri was there, I think we had a lot of ease in terms of playing gigs because he would take the majority of the guitar duties, and I could just play what is bare minimum, and I can do my vocals. But
Right.
once we like after Suri, it was very very difficult for me to like sort of manage that. So we asked Siddharth, like Siddharth kept playing like a lot of shows with us as a guest. We did a Metallica tribute somewhere in Counterculture, and then
Right.
like he kept playing a lot of gigs with us. We're like, come join us, man. Like it's going to make
Cool.
my life easier.
Yes.
And Sandeep sort of happened. Yeah, I mean, there was a time when I was supposed to join Toxic Waltz,
Oh.
or
Okay.
rather, I had said that hey, I'll join you guys. They were looking for a guitarist, and
Okay.
then we're like, he started doing a lot of shows with us as a vocalist. Like, you also come on board. This will be our final lineup, sort of a thing. So our
Oh.
lineup sort of grew quite a bit. We've had close to what 15, 20 musicians in this band, I guess,
Wow.
over time. Yeah,
Yeah. Cool. Um.
that's
Yeah.
2004 to 2020 now.
Oh, great. Yeah. So you were telling me a good news in the morning that you're thinking about relocating and
Okay. I don't want to
you
get
want.
everyone's hopes up, but
Okay.
primarily, like I'm exploring that opportunity right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Looking
Yeah.
forward to it, bro. Great.
Yeah, so I
Killer.
think
Let's.
once I'm
Yeah.
back in Bangalore, like I think a lot of I can get back to the music scene also, so it's a good thing.
Yeah. 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 Awesome. Awesome.
Mm.
I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, it's always nice to know that certain bands are back. The bands we know and bands like that. Cool.
You guys, I think I used one of your guitars in one of the gigs, right? The Wanted
Yeah,
by
yeah. You
Bird.
use this
Yeah.
particular guitar. I don't know. There was some problem with your guitar. I guess
Tuning. I
something
think
had
there was.
happened.
I think you
I don't.
were you used one step, a half step down, right?
I use
on
standard.
yeah, exactly. I think for some songs we needed standard, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to sit and tune down and tune
Yes,
up and
yes,
all
yes.
that.
Your guitar was half tuned, I
And
mean, half step down. Yeah. Right.
one. We always so this one is in standard.
Oh, one step.
That's because you are in standard, so I tuned up today. But
Okay, great.
the other all my other guitars are always one step down. You know.
D standard.
Hmm.
Perfect. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's talk about Bonded by Blood. I mean, were you also part of like the organizing team of Twisted Metals?
Yeah, actually, Twisted Metal was a fun concept. Like we just wanted to put in our own money and see what happens. So it was like a
Yes.
social experiment of sorts. Like the first edition was kind of crazy because we were the first band, and like our last song was I think by at the end of our set list there was a mosh pit, and then
Okay.
I think after us there were five other bands: Gin and Miskatonic, Live Band, Bhumi, Trinity, and Lucid Dreams. So
Yes.
the energy from the start of the gig, when we were there, when we started the gig till the end,
Right.
was just crazy. I've never seen Bangalore come out like
Wow.
that since 2007. So 2007 was one epic year for us, at least for Neolithic Silence.
Okay.
So there were no gigs actually. There was no pubs. There were no like fandoms and blue frogs and things like that.
Right.
So Nolan and me actually we were sitting and we were discussing like what to do about this, and you know we're like we'll come up with a gig. Let's try and do it again. We'll put in our money and let's see what happens. So every day we are on the street selling tickets for almost 3 months. So Jan to March we have sold tickets for a gig, and we booked a auditorium. It's called Guru Nanak Bhavan.
Okay.
Okay, and we had four bands. I think Neolithic, Extinct Reflections, Bhumi, and Cryptos. So the deal
Okay.
was we'll split the money and things like that. So very similar concept had happened like in 2007 for me, right? And that was probably like one of the first shows in almost like 6 or 7 years where people are coming together just to watch music. There was no alcohol, there was no food even. It's like an auditorium,
Oh. Okay.
like
Yeah.
a rundown auditorium also at that. And we had about 700 people at that place. We were
Oh, wow.
expecting about 150.
Yeah.
And we had fights, we had lots of things happening outside. Like, we were the first band, obviously. We finished, and I was outside, like, handling all the fights and things like that. So the scene had like burst out then. And then the very next week, Iron Maiden came down to Bangalore. So
Oh.
that sort of brought the entire music circle together. A lot of us started like talking to each other. Like we don't have lost all of these earlier things, like rivalries and whatnots
Yes.
which were there earlier. All of those
Ah.
just went away because we had to do this for the scene. And the subsequent
Right.
year, Arpan and the boys from Bhumi, they actually took it like one step forward. Like they started this week called Rock Ethos. They did about 2 or 3 editions, I think. That was
Okay.
massive production. Like they had a good sound from Vishnu and a lot of people coming together. So it's always a case of bands, some venue, and a sound guy. There's always these three components. When they come together, there's an amazing gig. So Twisted
Wow.
Metal was basically that. Like we guys, we all hang out a lot. We all like meet up quite often. We use the same studio, Premic, and
Right.
like we know Poncho. Poncho is like, hey man, you guys take our equipment. It's fine. Harris
Yeah.
from Pebbles is like, yeah, take my venue, and it
Oh.
just came together, and it was epic. Bonded by Blood was a bit more. It's a different thing that happened. Like again, you had the trough where no gigs. You can't keep
Yes.
doing a massive open air gig every month.
Right.
So when Lemmy passed away, we decided to do a Motorhead tribute.
Yes.
And then, like a month later, it was Dio's death anniversary. So we did a Dio
Yes.
tribute as well.
Yeah. Ronnie
So
James Dio.
it sort of got into our minds that hey, we can do this and sustain. You can bring a sustainable model to gigs,
Yes.
right? So then Yadu came up to us. Actually, this was Yadu's idea. He's like, hey, one of our friends, he needs help. We need to raise some money. We're like, okay, let's do it. And then you guys came on board for
Yeah.
that particular edition. So that was the first Bonded by Blood edition, right? So
Right.
when we saw that, okay, people come to gigs, they pay money at the entrance, they are willing to pay money at the gate
Yes.
and donate on top of that. Like we collected 70K at the gig itself and some more
Wow.
online in the platform.
Okay.
And I think the family of that person was also there and friends, they were also there. They saw it and they were like really like happy with what happened that day. We were very happy, like we were very proud of ourselves. Like, we pulled off something that you can never imagine. Like when you go to a gig, you don't know if one person turns up or 10 or 100. You never know
Right.
that
We
in
never know.
Bangalore
Yeah.
at least,
Yes.
right? Even it's a slight drizzle and then your crowd is just not going to come up. It's like that
Yes.
in Bangalore. So
Right.
for us, when we saw that, okay, people are coming, people are talking to us, and like, a lot of people said, hey, you guys should keep doing it. And then we just carried that forward. We kept having bands coming to us saying, we want to play. Gate share, fine, no problem. So we started
Yes.
with this thing where, we don't need this money. Like all of us have our day jobs. Let's
Yes.
just be the mediators between the venue and the bands. We'll collect the money, give it to the band. We'll show them, hey, this is what we collected. So they like the transparency part of it. So we just kept going with that. I think we went all the way to 14 editions or 13 editions. I was not there for the last 3, I think.
Wow.
But yeah, there were 10 editions. Piston, one of the bands that I
Yes.
can see some comments. They
Piston
played 3 or 4
actually.
editions.
Yes, they did. Yes.
So it sort of became like a small metal family. Like whenever we want, we can just select like, hey, you guys come, you guys come, and then everyone went home with some money. Like some days, I think best. You went home with $1,000 sometimes. Sometimes you went home with like
Yes.
$5,000.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
really had a set way of this one.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the
We
whole
played.
idea.
Awesome. Awesome. This is beautiful. I mean, the way the whole thing actually, went through, and the initiative that you guys took, and the way it kicked off. I mean, you ask anyone. I mean, Jayhouse is here. He knows it. Piston Boys. Chaos guys. From like people from members from the other members of Neolithic Silence. Inner Sanctum. Lucid
Wow.
Dreams. Anyone. They we all used to appreciate this. And it is to be an honor to always fill in. Whenever you guys would call us. It used to be really nice. We didn't care about how much money we would get. It's just about like, let's go and burn the night. So it used to be like that.
We had
Perfect.
a lot of those post gig parties, right?
Yeah.
Like all the bands sit together. We'll have dinner and like at least
Yeah.
where was that? Indigo. It was quite fun. Like
Indigo
we
was
had
quite
the
fun.
long table and
Yeah, and the stage was pretty good actually. Green room and everything. Backstage, I mean, yeah, it was pretty fun.
the crowd is very close in Indigo. It's it's very nice to see crowd right up front like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Great. So, all right, let's go ahead and could you play us a couple of your favorite stuffs? Let's see. Maybe you've come
Okay,
up with something new or anything like that.
let me try.
Sure.
Firstly, I hope that's fine. So, I've been experimenting on the 7 string a lot. So, a lot of these riffs are like, I would say very, very in the early stages, sort of a thing.
Okay.
Okay. So, let me try.
All right.
Is that sounding okay? So it's like sort of a song that I was trying to write long time ago.
Wow, cool.
So
It was
I've been
not very
experimenting.
clear, but yeah, it was not very clear, but could make out something. Maybe
I
this
think
will be recorded. Awesome, awesome.
I
Yeah, you
am.
were
I
saying
hope
something.
so
Sorry.
because with the seven string, I've realized that it's a lot more easier to riff.
Okay.
Okay, and it's easier to reach a lot of notes. It gives you like access to so many big chords, like sounds
Yeah,
so huge. Heavy.
you get another
So
level of low octave right there, right?
yeah, I think I'll be pissing Nadu off, but it's okay, I guess. But basically, yeah. So with all this heaviness that you get from this, I'm using a lot of that. Even the chugs are very tight, and
Right, right.
you can make a lot of good riffs on that.
Cool.
Here's another one that I was sort of
Sure.
trying to work. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can play. So something on those lines. So
Wow, the riff
I
has
think
some vibes. Awesome.
I mixed up three riffs, and I mean I mixed up the order of the riffs, but I think since this is like all in their initial stages.
Wow, wow,
So
wow.
apart from that,
Heavy.
one thing that you'll notice about Neolithic is the riffing style that I sort of developed this. If you notice Nicholas Sandel from Dark Tranquillity, he has this thing of, and then you do that on a actual harmonic.
Wow.
So a lot of us songs incorporate that sort of a riff. So for example, Swept Away, one of our songs. Like the main riff is like. So it sort of eliminates the need for the open string.
Yeah, it does.
So that's I mean it's a cheat, let's say, but it still works a lot in our song. So for example. So each of those chords are like. And when you pick that faster, so each of those notes actually come out, but it sounds like actually like a chord. So that's in every song of ours. Somehow that sort of chord patterns keep appearing.
Yes. Awesome.
So so this time I thought, okay, I'm going to move away from that. I'm going to move more into dissonance and
Oh,
so a lot of the riff work that I'm trying to write right now are around this.
awesome. It sounds amazing, bro. Sounds amazing. Yeah, it has those
How's it?
vibes. Wow, it's heavy. Heavy stuff.
Yeah,
Heavy stuff.
I need another guitarist. There's nobody around, so
Do
then
you
I
have
can.
just one guitar right now?
Actually, I do have a second guitar. You want to see it?
Yeah. Why
Actually,
not?
you want to see this guitar first because I don't think you've seen it.
Yeah. Let's
So
see this
this
one.
one is a very simple guitar. It's got two humbuckers, simple switch for neck, middle, and bridge. Volume.
Yes.
That's it. So Keith Marrow's guitars are very very simple and nice signature from him there.
Oh,
So this is part of my sector endorsement actually. So
great.
it's a very nicely set up guitar, beautiful wood and graphite neck and everything. It's the works.
Yes.
Like it doesn't fail at all on any level. So let me just quickly
Cool.
grab the other guitar. Just bear
Yes,
with me.
please. All right.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a very fun guitar to play. So this is the Elite. Okay.
Wow.
So it has
Yes.
a Steve Vai Sustainiac on the neck
Okay. Great.
and there's Schecter's bridge and everything. It's a 6-string guitar. So Floyd Rose and everything. Again, this is the works. Now this is where everything gets very very funny,
Okay.
right? So when I can enable and disable the Sustainiac
Okay.
and sustain a note forever. And there are three
Yeah.
modes of this, and this has a lot more pickup combinations and tone combinations and everything. Let me
Okay.
just connect this one. Give me a
Yes,
second.
please. Sure.
I'm not
What do
sure
you
if
call
it's
this
you.
color?
Uh,
Is
natural
there a
finish.
specific word? Natural wood or something?
Yeah. Hold on, 1 second.
Yeah. Hi, Nehas. Hi, Lucia. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining in. I'm Captain Vittel. Hello. Why,
Okay,
Sammy?
you'll have to
Hi.
pray. You'll have to pray that this is in tune. Let's see. It's a Floyd Rose, so I'm hoping so.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go into a clean sound so that it's easier to show you what this guitar can do.
Sure.
Okay. The gain is too much on this. So okay, now my sustainer is off. So I'm going to play
Okay.
one note.
Yes.
So that's it. Now I'm going to switch on the sustainer.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Now the sustainer has 3 modes. One, it can go into the harmony.
Okay.
So like what you're hearing right now is actually the harmony, right?
Yes.
So I can go into a mix of harmonic and the actual note. So there's a mix of the
Wow.
harmonic and the actual note.
Wow.
And then now it's just the note. And it's infinite.
Cool.
Like, So there are a lot of fun things, like especially with all this atmospheric stuff that I'm playing right now.
Yes, yes.
The sustain comes handy, and you can just play some weird, scary sounds and those kind of things with this. So
Right.
again, this also is like a graphite neck. Everything is like
Oh,
top notch on this as well.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. This is actually one of my favorite guitars. I'm pretty sure it's not in tune, so I don't want to play more than that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Right. So, is there
for
any
now.
other guitars that you have in mind that you find pretty specific and interesting?
Actually, I have a third sector, but it's not here in Malaysia. This one
Okay.
is it's a super shredder. It's a Strat, super Strat,
Wow.
and it's a very fun guitar to play. It's a maple neck, and it's still a fast neck.
Oh,
So when you're if you're playing some old glam rock or Dio and things like that, you get
yes.
like the perfect warm tones from it, and it's like
Oh, killer.
all over, like all around a very good guitar, and stays in tune because it's all Floyd Rose, right? So like I know
Yes.
you like Floyd Rose, so at least like
I
unlike
love
other
Floyd
guitars,
Rose. Yeah, I
yeah,
love Floyd.
can't live
Okay.
without it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of sometimes if I'm playing a guitar that doesn't have a Floyd Rose, for example, let me show you this.
yeah,
Now, for example, this is a vault guitar. A friend of mine recently went back to Odisha from Bangalore, and he
mm-hmm.
said, "I'm going to come back next year, so why don't you take care of my guitar?" And he gave it to me. His name is Saurav. And
Okay,
this particular thing has a fixed bridge, but you can also put in a tremolo here, but it just goes
uh-huh.
down. I
Got it.
cannot go other way around. So,
Mm.
sometimes I just usually don't fix that tremolo and play. I just sometimes just go around. And sometimes I'll go in the zone and suddenly my hand goes right there. And I'm like, man, this doesn't have that thing. So, yeah, those kind of things
No, not only that,
keeps.
when you do bends, like when you do a lot of,
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
the tuners are not locking, when you do bends and things like that, they just go out.
Yeah, they just go out of tune, yes.
This hang. I'll just pick up my other guitar back.
Sure.
Yeah. But whatever whatever I miss, I think the one thing that I miss the most are my pedals.
Yes.
Like that's where all the fun is. Like
Yeah, I remember. I mean, you have personally been a mentor to our band as well. Back in the time when my sound was really messy, I mean, you helped me a lot. I mean, I discussed with you later after going home, and we
mhm.
we had a long chat in Messenger, and then you told me about certain things, and I just kept those things in my mind, and of course, I wanted to upgrade it to better sound. And yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much for those things. Awesome.
No man, those were the times like all of us were always ready to help everyone.
Great, great, great.
Pedals are like so. The reason I got into pedals is I never could figure out multiprocessors very easily,
Right.
and every other like amp simulator in those older used to sound the same unless you wanted something consistent like that. Then okay, you can use that. I have had a Boss GT10, a Behringer VM, I don't know, GT6, some core in between. I have no idea. AX1000, AX1000, yeah.
Yeah.
So there have been a lot of processes that have come and gone. But once I started playing with this Rush Tribute band, every little thing that you have to do to get that tone out, like, when you're playing something like Distant Early Warning, it's a clean song with a lot of chorus and very atmospheric in, in those tone and everything, right?
Okay.
And you cannot achieve any of that with a multi-effects processor.
Yes.
And I started buying pedals. I started buying, I wanted a chorus, so I bought a chorus. Then I needed delay, I bought a bunch of delays. Then the problem starts when you're talking about overdrive. Different songs require different levels of overdrive. And with a
Yes.
multi FX processor, you just like press a few buttons and you're done. Like I had to buy like three different types of it. One with a diode circuit and one with the transistor circuit and whatnot. And I got very heavily involved in the pedals part of it. Like I think I collectively I should probably have about 20, 30 of them.
Wow.
And
Uh,
switch it
yeah.
around and like I had an acoustic simulator because there was a song closer to the heart. I am not sure why I'm in this. So the intro is that, right? And I
Cool.
needed like actual acoustic guitar sounding intro, a 12 string actually on top of that.
Oh,
So I had to chain my acoustic simulator into the chorus, into another delay pedal, which is a very short delay, which will make it sound a
okay.
little big, and
Yes,
all sorts of things. So I started messing around with tone quite a bit then. And
I see.
thanks to this, with Amplitude, it's very, very easy. Like right now, if I have to do the same what I was telling you,
Yes.
give me a second. So I have an acoustic simulator on now.
Right.
And then I can go and enhance that with nice chorus. So it sounds cleaner than your normal clean tones, right?
Yes, it definitely makes a difference. Yes.
And then what I can do is I can change the body of that acoustic simulator. So
Okay.
and things like that. So here it's just drag and drop, and then you can just like mess around. But with the actual pedal board, I had to do that back then, and like it was quite a adventure then. So I ended up
Yeah.
buying like, lots and lots of pedals. Now I've settled on my pedals at least. I don't think I need any more pedals. And the
Okay.
last pedal I bought was a Wampler.
Oh,
So that's a distortion sort of a pedal. It's I think you can check it out. Who's interested, they can check this out on YouTube. That's a pedal that Wampler built for Ola England,
okay. Wow.
and it's a signature tone basically. So it's
Oh,
nice and compressed by nature, and like it's easier to play. A lot of riffs and things like that on that. So I use that now.
cool. All right, brother. I think we are almost at the end of this session.
Yeah.
Uh, 1 hour is almost about to end, and before Instagram just closes it off, bro, you
Yep.
have any kind of personal or special message to the beginners and the rockers out there before we end this thing?
Absolutely yes. Practice a lot. Don't become like me. Like if you're really really passionate about playing guitar, practice is going to be your best friend. And try and engage with musicians. Try and talk to a lot of musicians. They're going to give you a lot of different perspectives. Like when I started out, I used to talk to Chris Avinash a lot. Like I don't know if he's watching. I don't know if he's even on Instagram, but I used to hang out with his band. That's how I met Ryan, in fact. Right? So you see these people playing. They just sit down and they're like playing a riff, and then you start observing them, and use try and bring that home and then practice that over and over and over again.
Right.
Unfortunately, I just stayed there looking at them. I didn't come back home. That was my problem. But yeah, like then there's Bruce Lee Money, like from Thermal and a Quarter. He's severe inspiration, huge inspiration for me.
Oh,
If you ever watch like these bands live, watch what Bruce does. Like in terms of these small strings movements that he does,
yes.
and you will never imagine in the world that that's how it's going to sound at the end of if you play it like that. And
Oh,
I think I have to mention my favorite guitarist from Bangalore, at least Tony. Like if
yes.
you watch Tony, I've seen Tony with Mixed Fruit Jam. which is like I think 2000s, all the way to People Tree and like all the things that he has done. Like I've watched Tony a lot. I in fact I went to classes with Tony.
Oh, great.
So it's so easy to talk to him. It's so easy to learn from him. He's so patient and like he'll actually explain things to you the way you want it. Like it doesn't have to be okay. This is C D E F E. No, it's not like that anymore. Like these guitarists actually they come out and tell you this is how you learn guitar rather than this is what you play on the guitar, right?
Right.
So if you
Right.
find such mentors, go and engage them and ask them a load of questions. Don't hold back and practice. That's it.
Perfect. Perfect. Very well said, brother. Fantastic. Wow. Yeah, I spoke to Tony a couple of weeks ago regarding when Chris Adler had come to Bangalore, and he was one of the guitarists who actually played with Chris Adler. The other one was
Yeah.
Surat Sun from GATC,
Mhm.
and man, they killed it. It was awesome. It was
Absolutely.
brilliant.
The caliber of those musicians are like, such that they can inspire a lot more. Like,
Yes.
there are a lot of these classes, there are a lot of these online schools, and even music schools in Bangalore. Like, literally every street has one, I guess, right now.
Yes.
But they are all there to help, so engage them.
Right. Right. Great. Brother, thank you so much for joining in. This is such an honor to have you actually, and I really love this particular
I had
session.
fun.
This particular episode was too much fun. Just played couple, we know the fact that we cannot jam together, but there was a third party which was that particular jam track that you just composed and just let it just be around, and we could jam on it. This was brilliant concept. Maybe we can try this on other episodes as well. This was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I think we should have started the sound check about an hour earlier. We would have come out with better loops. That was like
Yeah,
the last minute thing.
but even though, I mean, it was great. It was great. It had something to say, and we had something to do on it. Great,
Good.
awesome.
I really enjoyed my next one here. Yeah.
Thank you so
I
much.
think Instagram's going to close us in a minute or so. So
Yes,
whoever
yes.
joined in, thank you so much. I really miss hanging out with all of you. I know a lot of you here. Let me just give some shout outs. Anirudh is here. Neeti, Piston, my Dramachari is here. Chaitra, Bhumika. Oh, a lot of people, man. Nice.
A lot of people. Great,
Yeah. Sakshi just joined. Thank you.
great.
Thank you
To
so much, everyone.
yeah, great. This was amazing. To all the viewers, thank you very much for joining in. This was beautiful. Thanks for the beautiful comments. And well, stay safe. Good night to everyone, and good night to you, brother. Take care.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.